Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to space out. We're not going to do anything in today's program. We're just going to record a blank signal, and all of you are just going to sit there like a couple of zombies. Well, not really. Of course, we're obligated to talk about something today, but what we are talking about is this space out competition that started in Korea some time ago, and I guess it's catching on.
We actually use this phrase, space out, a lot in our everyday lives. Maybe you have a friend who's talking to you and they ask you a question and you're thinking about something completely different. Or maybe you're just kind of vegging and you could say, vegging just means you're blank. But you could turn to them and go, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I was spacing out. So yeah, we space out sometimes. And we don't hear a conversation that we're involved in, or, maybe you're in class and you're spacing out when the teacher's talking. That's not good. So we're going to talk about a competition that they actually try to pick the best person who spaces out. I guess with the most creativity, it's kind of a strange competition to me. What do you think, Tom?
It's kind of strange, and I can't imagine it really catching on here in Taiwan because I think people here just cannot live without their phones for more than 10 seconds. But who knows? I could be wrong. Everybody out there, prove me wrong. Okay, so let's get to it, everybody. Let's read through the entire contents of our article, and we'll be right back. At an unusual event, a group of people gather and sit together without interacting or checking their phones. Instead, they concentrate on nothing at all and empty their minds for the Space Out competition. Originally proposed by South Korean artist Whoop Seong in 2014, this event is a form of performance art. It challenges the social expectation to remain constantly busy in this fast-paced world, offering competitors a pause from their routines. For 90 minutes, players are scored on how well they space out based on artistic and technical aspects, with their heart rates monitored every 15 minutes. Then the audience votes for the most appealing performance. Among the top 10 selected, whoever can keep the most stable heart rate is declared the winner. Since players are forbidden to speak throughout the competition, they must rely on cards of different colors for communication. Using these cards, players can signal needs, emergencies, or the desire to withdraw. Capturing global interest, the Space Out competition has been held in different cities since its inception. In fact, the fifth one took place in Taipei in 2017. In 2023, a student at National Jeongju University hosted a campus version of the event as well. As the competition continues to expand, it promotes the idea that people should learn to enjoy the luxury of idle moments from time to time. Okay, everybody, it's time for us to discuss the contents of today's lesson. And we are going to quiet your thoughts, or you're going to quiet your thoughts in the Space Out competition. I might quiet my thoughts as well. I guess what that means is you just simply don't think about anything. You let your mind go blank, and I guess that's kind of what they do when they do Buddhist meditation, I think.
Well, even just without Buddhism, I do meditation sometimes where you just try to clear your mind of everything and just kind of relax. It's supposed to help your heart rate go down a little, get rid of some stress. A lot of people kind of space out if they go jogging, for example. When they're outside, they just want to kind of get rid of the day's stress and what's been happening to them. So quiet your thoughts. Yeah, get your thoughts to just shut up. I don't sleep very well at night because my mind doesn't quiet down. So a lot of people are like that out there. It's been like that since I was a little girl. So I can't say it's because I'm older and I have too much stress in my life. Because when I was a kid, I didn't have that much stress. But yeah, you need to quiet your mind down, quiet your thoughts. And we're using space out with a hyphen there in the title because what kind of competition is it? It's a space out competition. But if you're saying in a conversation, yeah, I just spaced out for a minute, which is the past tense form, you would just use SPACED OUT, two separate words. Don't put the hyphen there.
This reminds me of an old Elton John song, Benny and the Jets, you know. Oh, Candy and Ronnie, have you seen them yet? Oh, but they're so spaced out. That's referring to these people in a band who are really far out. They're really fantastic. But again, the meaning of space out here just means you're kind of daydreaming. You're fadai, as you say in Chinese. And this is an unusual event. So at this unusual event, a group of people gather and sit together without interacting or checking their phones. Now, if you interact with someone, basically you communicate with them, you send them a message and they reply. It could be an interaction online, but it could also be a live interaction. You're just having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, these days it's mostly online, but I think that's part of the problem we're having with society. People are becoming more and more just lonely because they're not getting out and having live interaction with people. So, yeah, they can be in a group of people and just be interacting with somebody else on their phone. So instead, these people are concentrating on nothing at all. And they empty their minds. They're emptying their minds for the space out competition. Again, that's similar to saying quiet your thoughts or quiet your mind. So that's what the whole point of this is. That's their goal. Originally, this competition, this type of competition, was proposed or suggested by a South Korean artist named Whoopsyang in 2014. Maybe Whoopsyang was kind of under a lot of stress or tired. I know that they deal with a lot of suicides in South Korea because they have a lot of pressure either in school or even in their work, or government officials will sometimes commit suicide based on things that happen in their lives. Well, this guy is actually an artist, and he came up with this idea for a competition 10 years ago. So this event is a form of performance art. Tom, what's performance art mean?
Well, of course, regular art would be paintings and sculptures and things like that, but performance art is like live, it's three-dimensional, and usually involves movement, and it involves performers, people, usually. Not necessarily always, but for the most part, it does involve people. So it was some sort of art exhibition involving people. It was a kind of performance art. And, what does this event do? It challenges the social expectation to remain constantly busy in the fast-paced world, offering competitors a pause from their routines. Now, this is probably in reference to being connected online with our phones and stuff like that. We're basically required to be constantly in touch with other people. We don't want to be left behind, or we've got to respond to a client's call or something like that. So, yes, we are constantly busy in this fast-paced world. Okay, so constantly is the adverb form of constant, which means things don't stop. They just keep going on and on and on. Oh, the rain has been constant today, or it has been constantly raining. It started raining in the morning, and it's still raining at night.
Right, without stopping. Consistently is a little different. It means pretty regularly, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't stop at some point. Constantly gives you this feeling that it's ongoing. There's no even a break in things. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was feeling guilty this morning, Tom, because I didn't look at my phone for a couple of hours.
How could you do that?
I know. Well, I was trying to finish some work, and I thought, what if a friend is texting me, or, a brother or sister? But sometimes you just need to get away from that constant need to check on things that are going on and just give yourself a break. So this is supposed to offer competitors. Competitor is somebody competes in some sort of contest. Well, it gives them a pause from their routines. A pause is just kind of a break. It's a temporary stop in action. Or maybe even when you're speaking, you might pause to gather your thoughts before you continue. This gives them a pause from their routines. A routine is something you do pretty much, on an ongoing basis. A morning routine is to get up in the morning. Maybe you go running for 30 minutes, come back, eat breakfast, get ready to go to work. That's a routine.
Gives you a break from your routine, and we do need a break from that once in a while. And in the next paragraph here, it says, for 90 minutes, Players are scored on how well they space out based on artistic and technical aspects, with their heart rates monitored every 15 minutes. So that's quite a long time there, 90 minutes. I'm not sure a lot of people could last that long without their phones, let alone just sitting there spacing out, looking like zombies or whatever. But again, you need to space out, and we've got judges who score these people. They give them scores on how well they space out. And this will be based on certain aspects, certain criteria, which are artistic and technical in nature. So artistic does refer to art, how expressive it is, how creative it is, etc. So I guess there's a creative way to space out. And also technical aspects, for example, your heart rate will be monitored every 15 minutes. So I guess you need to have a pretty low heart rate in order to expect to win this competition.
Or they might base it on where your heart rate is when you first start.
Or if it's constant.
Yeah, or if it's, we're going to talk about that in a minute, if it's stable. But, sometimes when I've had a hard day, my heart rate's up. And then as I get home and I relax, it goes down lower. Especially goes down if I go out and take a walk. That really helps. So, yeah, they're doing their judging based on artistic elements or aspects. That's a similar word. And technical aspects. We're going to talk more about this, guys. But first, we're going to take a quick break, listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜，欢迎收听今天的 English Digest。 我们今天要带大家看一个很有趣的竞赛，一个 competition。 什么竞赛呢？发呆大赛。是不是很棒呢？没事做，而且呢可以让你全身的放松。这个发呆大赛这个文章我们今天是设计成为一个克漏字。那克漏字的话，有一些题型是真的有一点困难，比如说像第一题考这个复合形容词，或者是第二题呢把连接词跟介系词也考进去了。当然你说学测会不会这样子考？也会耶。学测的每一篇克漏字大概也是会有1题到2题是比较属于文法句构类的。好，那我们现在呢就赶快来看这文章第一段其实就是描述一下所谓的发呆大赛看起来是什么样子。总而言之呢，大家聚在一起就是也不互动哦，也不用手机哦。那到底做什么呢？其实什么都不做，就是要让自己心灵放空。那我们在第一段这个地方，首先注意一下第二句。第二句这里首要的这个 instead 我们大家都会背相反的。可是你看哦 instead 前面这一句话跟后面这句话文意其实根本就没有相反。如果你仔细看的话，你会发现 instead 前面讲的是比较一个模糊的陈述，通常会有 not。 例如像这里前面的第一段第一句我们看到的是 without， 并没有互动，然后也没有用手机。好，那你想说好，那不互动也没用手机，那他们到底在干什么呢？原来instead 在英文当中是强调精准事实，也就是 in fact 的意思。所以后面在第二句我们看到事实上他们干什么呢？他们就是在放空，就是在比这个 space out competition。 好，所以要特别注意 instead 其实它是一个 in fact 强调精准事实的一个副词。那接下来第一段呢就告诉我们这个当初其实是2014年从韩国一个艺术家他开始的这样子的一个比赛。不过这里第三句呢是分词构句哦。这个分词构句通常我们会在句首看到过去分词 PP 或者是现在分词 ING， 那它真正的主词其实是句子中间逗点之后的。例如在第一段第三句这边我们看到的主词是 this event， 这个比赛。这比赛如何呢？你再回过头看它第一个字是副词，所以我们先略过。原本一开始怎样呢？ proposed 是被韩国的艺术家所提出的。所以分词构句其实大家也不用太紧张，当然有时候学测它是会考这个第一个字到底要用 PP 还是用 ING 呢？你可以看它是主动还是被动。所以像类似这个句子当中逗点之后的主词是一个比赛，当然就是被谁来举办，被某人来这个提出。好，那接着我们就来到了第四句哦。第四句告诉我们，其实他挑战快节奏当中的世界的人要怎么样在忙碌的社会当中还能够稍微暂停一下。第四句我们首先看一下哦。 在句子中间逗点之后，其实有一个动词 ing， 这个动词 ing 我们也称为分词构句。那这个分词构句呢，它则是一个连接词 and 的省略。本来在逗点之后应该会有一个 and 连接句子的第一个动词，也就是这一句的第二个单字 challenges 这个动词跟第二个动词是逗点之后的 offer， 所以两个动词之间如果没有连接词的话，那第二个动词就不能直接以动词来出现呐，它还是可以表现动作，但是它就会变成直接加上 ing 变成 offering。 回过头来我们就看第一题咯。这个第一题我们刚刚说是感觉上比较困难的部分，因为那个复合形容词好多哦。例如像在这里 A、B、C 的选项我们看到都是副词-连字号后面加上过去分词 PP， 它指的是一个什么样的状态，再加上一个被动。例如 A 的 well-bred 这里指的就是表示养得很好的，那 B 的 fast-paced 指的是步调很快的，就是字面上的意思，但是后面这个 PP 呢，其实就有被动的意味。像 C 的 ill-equipped，equip 是给装备嘛，所以装备不太齐全哦，这是 ill-equipped。最后 D 选项的 one-sided， 其实它是一个数字连接上名词 ed， 让数字跟名词可以形成一个复合形容词的状态，所以 one-sided 就表示只有一边的，而不是两边或多边的意思。那根据这样上下文的文意，那在这个第一题的前面有一个 busy 这个字，有没有大家都很忙啊，在什么样的世界？一定是很忙的世界嘛，所以第一题在文意上选 B 是比较合适。好，那接下来来到第二段的话，就会想仔细讲一下说这个办法这到底要怎么样的进行比赛呢？原来是这样子的，在第二段的第一句我们提到这个比赛其实有90分钟，那参赛者会根据艺术跟技术方面的表现被评分哦。每15分钟就会监测一次他们的心率。那来到这边你就想说这第二题到底要怎么选啊？感觉上 and 也是 OK 的，可是 B 选项的汇取又代替什么呢？好，我们在看选项的时候会发现 A、B 都是连接词，关带 B 选项的关带本身这个关系就是连接的关系哦，所以关带其实本身有连接词功能跟代名词功能合并的。C 选项的 for 有可能是介系词为了，或者是连接词，它也有表示原因的意思。只有 D 选项的 with 是一个很单纯的介系词，但是 with 的意思就多啦，可以指的是用什么工具啊，和什么人一起啊，随着什么什么之类的。那在这里我们回过头来看句子当中，逗点之后第二格，接下来是 their heart rates 他们的心率，monitored monitor 如果加了 ed 就表示被监视被监测 every 15 minutes， 言下之意是关键是你可不可以了解到这里的 monitored 是一个 PP 一个过去分词呢？如果我们要还原的话，我们可以把 monitor 一直到句尾左右括号，那其实它是一个关系子句的简化。如果你了解到这个 monitored 是一个过去分词的话，你就会知道第二格不需要连接词，不需要连接词。那可不可以选 C 呢？ C 如果是介系词 for 表示一个目的，或者是表示因为什么什么为了什么什么的话，文意又不通，所以 D 选项这里的 with 其实它就表达出是一种附带的状况附带的状况呢，除了说一定要这个 space out 的发呆之外，附带的状况就是他们的心跳每15分钟就要被监测一次。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're going to continue talking about the Space Out competition, which originally took place in South Korea, but now it is spreading all over the world, and maybe you might be interested in taking part in this competition, or maybe getting some ideas from this to maybe put your phone away, maybe lose it on purpose, and just try to take your mind away from all those messages you have to respond to and all those posts on Instagram you're supposed to check out and press the like
that.
button and stuff like that. And so, yes, indeed, this is kind of an interesting idea. You don't have to do it forever, just for 90 minutes here. And again, your performance is based on artistic and technical aspects, and then your heart rate will be monitored every 15 minutes. That's one of the technical aspects, I guess. Then the audience votes for the most appealing performance. So the audience, of course, refers to the group of people that is watching this particular competition. Okay, so the audience is the group together. It's singular. The audience is watching them. They're watching them perform. You could say the members of the audience are watching the competition, but here, again, audience is singular. And yes, they vote at the end of the competition for the most appealing performance. If something's appealing, it's something that people are attracted to and they want to learn more about it.
Right. It's something that you like. It's attractive, interesting. It draws you in. I'm not sure if I'd want to sit there and watch a group of people space out for 90 minutes. So I wonder who they got to be in the audience. But maybe the friends of the performers. I guess that makes sense. Invite your friends and family to come so they'll vote for you. So among the top 10 selected, so they have more than 10 that participate, whoever can keep the most stable heart rate is declared the winner. Oh, so you don't want to go too low, too high. I think they're just looking for stable. It doesn't matter how high or low you start. It's if you can keep it at the same rate. Stable means it doesn't change too much. Maybe you've talked about trying to find a job that has stable hours. Stable hours would be a job where you pretty much go in at the same time every day and leave at the same time. You don't have to constantly do overtime. Overtime is very popular here in Taiwan. Or if you live in a big city, I lived in New York and I was always working overtime.
Oh, no.
So stable, yeah, not changing too much. You could also say that someone who's in the hospital is in stable condition, which means they've treated them so that now they're in a condition that you don't have to worry about them so much. So that's a good thing. They're not deteriorating or getting worse. They're just at that they're in that condition that you feel like they're going to get better and going to be able to check out soon. Stable. So here, stable again, it just means your heart rate doesn't change very much.
The opposite is unstable, so you don't want to have an unstable heartbeat. And the noun form is stability, which means things are stable. They don't change too much. So your heart rate cannot fluctuate, which means to change a lot. It has to be stable throughout the competition, and then the winner is selected based on that. Now, since players are forbidden to speak throughout the competition, they must rely on cards of different colors for communication. So they can't speak in the competition. They can't say words to each other, but they can communicate by using these cards that have different colors. And using these cards, players can signal needs, emergencies, or the desire to withdraw. So you'd have to look for the code for these colors. What does purple mean? What does pink mean? What does yellow mean? Etc., etc. They all have meanings, and they are allowed to communicate using those colored cards.
Well, hopefully they wouldn't need to use those cards because if you had a need like, I've got to go to the bathroom quickly, that's going to change your heart rate a lot. So, yeah, an emergency would mean you're in trouble, right? So that would also raise your heart rate. That's not good. Or even wanting to quit the competition. If you desire to withdraw, it just means you want to leave something. You don't want to be there anymore. Any of these things are going to affect that player. I think they probably use these cards, if I'm guessing, Tom, which I'm guessing, is because they don't want anyone talking to kind of disrupt the competitors who are competing. Maybe the cards are a lot quieter, you know.
It might affect their heart rate.
Sure.
So indeed, that's one of the reasons they use the cards, and that's how they can communicate. Again, these are some of the rules regarding this particular competition. Now, it seems kind of weird. You know, the Koreans come up with strange, unusual things, but they are very successful with those strange and unusual things. And this is another one that is attracting attention all over the world. So here in the final paragraph, it says, capturing global interest The Space-Out competition has been held in different cities since its inception. Okay, so again, it has captured global interest. People around the world are interested in knowing more about this competition and even participating in something like this. And it has been held in different cities all over the world since it began. Here, inception is a noun that just means it's beginning. So since its beginning, it has grown in popularity more and more each day.
Right. It comes from the Latin word incipere, which means begin.
Ooh.
So a close word, not quite the same as conception, which means a baby is conceived, or a baby mom and a dad get together and make a baby. That's a conception, their conception. So yeah, since its beginning, I'm not surprised. I think people around the world are getting tired. There's always crazy stuff, crazy news going on that gets people upset, or their job is too busy. You know, maybe their company had to lay off people, which means to fire some people. And so they have to do twice as much as they used to. I think people are just tired. And so I can see why people are more interested in some quiet time in their lives. I was watching some video on one of the social media platforms, and they were telling parents, hey, let your kids have downtime. Don't overschedule them. They don't always have to be at soccer practice or taking piano lessons or violin lessons or going to bushiban. They need some downtime where they can just be creative.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. You know, of course, the neighbor's kid is taking piano lessons and math tutoring and things like that. How can I let my kid have downtime when there's so much competition out there? But maybe more and more people should take an interest in a competition like this to sort of mellow out a little bit. And
Tom, what is mellow out? That's a great phrase.
That does mean to relax a bit. Of course, lots of people like to mellow out at the end of the week. They've been working hard, so they get together with friends and maybe have a nice dinner together, or maybe they relax and enjoy a movie or something like that. So that's mellowing out, just relaxing, chill. You could chill. That's a slang term we use to relax, etc. So yes, indeed, this competition has been gaining interest all over the world. In fact, the fifth one took place in Taipei back in 2017, which is, about 7 years ago. And this was the fifth such competition. And indeed, people in Taiwan are becoming interested in this kind of competition as well.
I'm a graduate of National Zhengzhou University. So this doesn't surprise me. They do a lot of interesting things. So they hosted a campus version, meaning the students there were able to participate if they wanted to. They could be competitors. So as the competition continues to expand just means to be spread out in different areas, wider and wider. It promotes the idea that people should learn to enjoy the luxury of idle moments from time to time. If you promote something, it's almost like you're putting out an advertisement for something. You want something to gain traction or become more popular, so you kind of publicize it. You could promote something by doing a commercial. You could promote, maybe you have a friend who's running for a political office and you want to promote them. You could write about them on social media and get people aware of what they're doing and get them to vote for them. You can promote a lot of things. Here we're promoting an idea. What's the idea? Well, people should learn to enjoy the luxury of idle moments. Wow, we should have more luxury time. Just because we have so much more high tech available, it should make our lives easier and less crazy and rushed. But it's made it even more crazy, which is kind of funny. What does idle mean, Tom?
Idle means it's just not working or it's not moving. Your car could be idling when you're stopped at a stoplight.
True. And
you're not moving, but the engine is still running, so you're idling there. Here, idle is being used as an adjective. It just means moments when you're not really doing anything. Yeah, you are awake, but still you are just kind of relaxing. You're spacing out, you're mellowing out, and you're just relaxing and enjoying life. And you're not so uptight about stuff. And that's where we're going to leave off, and we wish you the best of luck if you decide to take part in such a competition. It's time now to finish our lesson by listening to our Chinese teacher.
那之后观众就会票选最有吸引力的这个表演啊，然后这个还要看一下稳定的心率，这样子评分出来的话呢，就可以知道冠军了。那中间如果有任何情况的话，必须要有靠这个不同颜色的卡片来沟通，而透过这些卡片的话，参赛者就可以表达需求，也有可能是退出或者是有任何的紧急情况。那我们在第二段最后面这里的第5句，我们也可以看一下这个分词构句哦，因为一开始就用了 using， 用这些卡片，谁用这些卡片啊？主词一定是在后面逗点之后的 players， 所以参赛者就可以用这些卡片来表达他的需求。好，接下来我们就要来看一下第3段咯。第3段讲到就是说啊，发呆大赛其实从创办以来就已经在很多城市举行，而且全球都蛮关注的。当然在这里的第3段的第1句，我们又突然看到 ing 型出现了， capture 就是捕捉，就是 catch 的意思，捕捉全球的兴趣。谁捕捉全球的兴趣啊？原来主词也是在逗点之后的 the space out competition， 这个所谓的发呆大赛，其实它因为捕捉了全球的兴趣，所以自从韩国2014年开始的时候啊，就已经在很多的城市举办咯。好，那之后我们在最后一段也有提到，在这个比赛啊一直不断的持续扩展当中，其实它真正的精神还是让我们大家可以学会时不时稍微发呆一下，这样子的奢侈的情况。好，那接下来呢，我们就可以来练习一下发呆，所以大家呢就可以不用等比赛，随时都可以在生活当中稍微放空一下。希望大家喜欢今天的内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
Okay, that's the end of our lesson for today, and we hope you take an interest in such a competition, or at least maybe spacing out from time to time, or mellowing out, or being less stressed out in your life. We hope certainly that you will be healthy and happy until the end of your days. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.